And the ideology of freedom for the American patriot can never be defeated. I'm telling you that right now. It can never be defeated. It is ingrained in our DNA. And this is coming from someone who immigrated to the United States. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure how many of you follow like financial channels and what's going on in the financial world, economy, etc. But this last Wednesday, I believe they had an FOMC meeting. But it's a meeting where the Federal Reserve gets together and they talk about what's going on. And pretty much, Jerome Powell in front of Congress, and I think the Treasury Secretary was in front of Congress too, but Jerome Powell pretty much says, yeah, inflation is not transitory. He pretty much said, we're going to have to go ahead and get that transitory word out of there. What does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? What that means is that all of these months that the people that are supposed to be the experts, the best in the world at what they do, I mean, isn't that who they're supposed to hire when they hire people to work in the government and or to assist the government in helping to run the country properly? So the best people that are supposed to be the best in the world at what they do for months now, if not for more than months, maybe a year or more, have been telling us, yes, you're going to see a little bit of inflation, but it'll be transitory. And that little bit of inflation, ladies and gentlemen, turned into a lot of inflation. And anyone here that goes shopping at a supermarket, anyone here that drives a vehicle that has to get gasoline, anyone here that's been shopping for a new vehicle or a used vehicle, they know that inflation's been a lot higher than the measly 5 or 6% that they report through the CPI, or as I and many others like to call it, the CPI, the Consumer Price Indices. All right, inflation's a lot higher than that. Well, now they're telling us, hey, inflation is here to stay, and we don't know when it's going to go away. So as we've been talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, for the last several months, if not more than a year now, I hope that a lot of you have done your research and have decided to go ahead and get out of the system as much as you can. In my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, and call me crazy if you want, in my opinion, this thing that they're doing with this vitamin that they're trying people trying to make people take, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They are not going to make the entire population do something that they don't want to do, right? And a lot of people don't want to do it, and they're not going to do it. So what are they going to have to do? Well, they're going to have to come up with something else that's very, very scary, that will make everyone really scared into hopefully complying with their mandates and their orders. But I don't think that's going to work either, ladies and gentlemen. So what I see is, and this is my opinion, what I see is I see a huge economic collapse, a huge financial collapse happening in our future. Because what I think they want to do is they want to weaken us. And that's why I went on a rant. I don't know when I put up this video. I think it was Monday or yesterday maybe that I put it up. And I went on a rant saying, listen, when you get food that has nutrition in it. Right? Get food that has nutrition in it, because what they want to do is they want to weaken us. They are going to weaken us, not only through the monetary system, but as they've been doing for years now, feeding us garbage. And when I say feeding us garbage, it's not that they're putting it in our mouths, but that it's the thing that's available for most people to buy. And most people don't understand that the foods that they're buying at the store, they're so processed that almost all of the nutrition has been taken out of that food. And now on top of feeding us garbage, there's going to be scarcity in food, in my opinion, in the future. But ladies and gentlemen, what is the best way that they can make everyone fall in line? And that is to make sure that everyone loses everything that they own in the form of paper. Anything that you own, as far as it being fiat, as far as it being in your bank, as far as it being stock, if we have a massive financial collapse, especially of the dollar, it will be a worldwide depression. And if you're not strong to make it through that, then you may survive. But when you get to the other side, ladies and gentlemen, as I stated before, once we get to the other side, that's when the fight really begins. First, we have to survive the crisis and stay strong enough during that crisis in order to fight when they bring the fight to us. And when I say fight, I don't mean it in a literal term. But in order to be able to resist what they want to push on us, we have to be strong. And how do we do that? By making sure that we're prepared so that we can make it through that crisis, and making sure that we're strong enough so that once we make it through that crisis, we are still strong of body and mind in order to make it through whatever it is that they throw at us. Because ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I've seen throughout my life, at least, I'm only a 50-year-old person, only 50 years old. But in my life, what I've seen is that evil does not give up. Evil keeps fighting. Evil keeps doing what they want to do. They are non-relenting. When someone that's evil puts their mind to something, look at what they can accomplish. And we've seen it in history, that when people who are on the wrong side of history during their reign, when they continually push forward their agenda, when they continually fight for that agenda, be it good or bad, that in the end, they get more done than people that just sit back. And one thing that I've noticed about the evil that's going on is that they're very patient, and they will continue to scream, and they will continue to want more. This song will never end with this. They're going to continue to say, no, you need more, you need more, you need to do more, you need to submit to us even more. It will never end until we are 100% slaves, until they have 100% control over everything that we do. So we have to remain strong. And we have to remember to never, ever believe anything that they say. Anything that they say, you have to make sure that you verify, and don't even trust. In the military, we always say trust, but verify. But in this case, don't even trust. Just go and verify. And if it's true, it's true. And if it's not, it's not. So now here we have a gentleman that actually said, and I don't even know why he's talking about this, because he's in the finance world, and he's not very good at that as well, in my opinion. He's not very good at that as well. He's proven himself to be a liar, and in my opinion, a traitor to the people. Now we have this gentleman saying that the government ought to use the military in order to force the citizenry of the United States to take something that they don't want to take.
It's time to admit that our government has lost the ability or the will to make our people do the right thing.
To make our people do the right thing. To make our people do the right thing.
And for those of you that are new here, you have to understand that I am for freedom. I am for you to do what it is that you want with your body. It's not in my place. It's not my place to tell you, yeah, I think you should do this. I don't think you should do that. No. What I'm here telling you is that I am for you to do what you feel is best for you and your family. But don't push what you feel is best for you onto me or anyone else that doesn't want to drink your brand of Kool-Aid, for lack of a better term. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So and the reason that I'm bringing this clip up here to share with you all is to show you how big of liars these people are. And they're not even ashamed of it, right? So I just want you to listen to this.
Rights. Should I be worried about Bear Stearns in terms of liquidity and get my money out of there? No, no, no. Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money out. This is real. If there's one takeaway other than a plus 400 somewhere, Bear Stearns is not in trouble. I mean, if anything, they're more likely to be taken over. Don't move your money from Bear. That's just being silly. Don't be silly.
Okay, just so you get a sense of what's causing the agony by this point, I know you've been talking about it. It's financials led by Bear Stearns after what essentially is a bailout from the Fed. Bear Stearns shares down 90% this.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was 13 years ago. I'm not sure how many of you saw that when it originally came out, but this gentleman here, and I won't even say his name because I think he's disgusting. 13 years ago, he knew. Let me say this before I continue. This is 100% my... Hello, Bonnie. How are you, Bonnie? Good to see you. One Frugal Mama, hello. This is 100% my opinion. What I'm about to say about this gentleman that we just saw here saying that Bear Stearns is a buy, not to sell, is 100% my opinion because I don't want to get sued, all right, by anyone. But this is 100% my opinion. In my opinion, this person, he knew what was going on.
We haven't heard a thing from CNBC, although Jim Cramer did write an article for MainStreet.com complaining that we had unfairly used a video clip out of context to make it look like he recommended buying Bear Stearns stock a week before it collapsed. Okay, I was wrong. Actually, it's true. He wasn't saying to buy Bear Stearns. He was simply saying that if Bear was your broker or that your money was at Bear, your money would not disappear. He was not addressing the value of holding Bear stock. So, Jim Cramer, I apologize. That was out of context. Technically, you were correct. You weren't suggesting to buy Bear Stearns. That was something that you did 5 days earlier in your buy or sell segment.
I believe in the Bear franchise. You know what? It's 69 bucks. I'm not giving up on this thing.
Yeah! Of course, while Cramer wasn't giving up on Bear at 69, 11 days later, the stock market was more comfortable with it at 2.
And millions of people lost everything. Millions of people lost their homes. Millions of people lost their jobs. Millions of people lost everything. Why? Because he had to toe the company line. And the thing we have to remember is, ladies and gentlemen, is that the company don't care about you. The company doesn't care about you. They could care less about you. So don't believe a word they say. And now this guy has the gall. After messing over millions of people who followed his advice, now he's got the gall to say, well, I think that the government ought to make the military go around and force these people to do something that they don't want to do. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, anyone here that still watches the mainstream media, you really need to look at yourself and ask you, what are you doing to yourself? Why are you sucking in this propaganda? Right? It's broadcasting. These people broadcasting nothing but lies. Now, if you tell me I watch it so that I can go and look for stuff, so I can go and look for the truth, then yeah, that makes sense to me. I don't watch none of this. The only type of mainstream media that I watch is something that I catch that someone else is talking about because it's so ridiculous. Because 99.9% of it is ridiculous, and it's done only to propagandize you into thinking what they want you to think and into doing what they want you to do. I forget the name of the gentleman, and I call him gentleman because I'm trying to be kind. That used to be the head of the CIA, who said, paraphrasing his quote, that we will know that we have succeeded when the American people believe everything that we tell them. And ladies and gentlemen, everything that they tell us is a lie. When you get on these financial channels on TV and they tell you that the economy is doing great, the economy is not doing great. Just look around. When they tell you that inflation is good for you because it means you're spending more money, does that even make any sense? That inflation is good for you, and that's what they tell us. That's what they want us to believe. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'll tell you what. In my opinion, getting as much out of the system as possible, protecting yourself against all of those infrastructures that you rely on, and making sure that you have a backup for all of those things that you rely on a regular basis, that's what we need to do. Making sure that we stack it to the rafters. I went to Walmart. Oh, yeah, that video where I went to Walmart, and I showed you all. They still have turkeys. Everyone was in this big uproar because, turkeys are not going to be available for Thanksgiving. Well, there's still turkeys there. We still have stuff that we can put away. When people tell you, you're a hoarder because you're buying an extra 2 turkeys, if they don't pay your bills, then tell them to go away and tell them not to come by when they realize that they should have listened to you. and they have 3 days of food instead of 3 months to 6 months to a year worth of food, like we've been preaching here for the longest time. Because that, ladies and gentlemen, is what's going to get us through. I remember someone saying that they heard a conversation in the background where they worked, and they heard a couple of people saying that, in their opinion, preppers were going to ruin everything for their plan because preppers are prepared. And what they're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is they're going to try to take everything away. If either by edict or by financial collapse, whatever way it is. And how is it that I'm saying this so confidently? Ladies and gentlemen, just study history. Study history. I thank the good Lord above. I thank the good Lord that we still have our 2A. In my opinion, that's the only thing that is stopping them from being 100% draconian. I thank the good Lord that we still have the 2A and that we still have the Constitution and that we still have a system, although not perfect by any means, but a system that can put a check on the powers of each branch of the government. And like I said, it's not perfect. I don't have very much faith in the judicial system, but we still have one. And what I found is that when it really counts, like for 2A and things like that, when it really, really counts, and like for mandates and things like that, that they pull through. Because the words that are written in that Constitution, some of those words cannot be misinterpreted. And I think that the founding fathers did it on purpose, where some words, there's no possible way that they can be misinterpreted. And there's no way that they can get around those words in judging that it should mean something else, when what it means is right there in black and white. So I have faith that in the end, we will prevail, ladies and gentlemen, but it's going to be a tough road ahead. And I'll keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. You need to continue to prepare. You need to stack it to the rafters if you can. And if you can't do it in one day, that's okay. Slow and steady wins the race. If you can't buy nutrient survival, that's okay, ladies and gentlemen. Although I feel that the nutrition in that food is the best that there is, calories will keep you alive. They will keep you alive. Monica Di Carlo, how are you, Monica? Good to see you. Do you think that the military will at some point take our food to force us? Forcefully take our food? I think that if they try, it'll be a very bad thing. I told this story before, and I'll tell it again very briefly. When I was in Afghanistan, I was with an infantry platoon, and it was we were out on a patrol once, right? And we had a platoon of 23, plus we had 2 special forces men with us, and we had 1 interpreter. So it was a total of 26 of us. We were pretty much in the middle of nowhere. We got attacked, and we were pinned down for several hours. And actually, one of those special forces gentlemen, soldiers, he ended up losing his life. But we got attacked, and we were pinned down for several hours by one person. One person. Now think about it. In the United States of America, there's about 27 million or so veterans, of which about 18 million or so are not disabled veterans. Let's say that out of that 18 million, 9 million are patriots. That's 9 million patriots that have been trained in basic military skills by the same entity that has trained those soldiers that may, all right, because I'm sure that some of them that may be against us. I don't think that our military has any chance against us, the people, as long as we, the people, stick together. Look at what happened in Afghanistan after 20 years. Was it bad policies? Of course, bad policies on our part. But the fact of the matter is this, is that when a people have an ideology that they will not let go, that ideology will win in the end. Just like in Afghanistan, the Taliban had an ideology. Their ideology is what won that war, because they won that war. It was a war of attrition for them. All they had to do was just survive and live to fight another day. They won that war. Their ideology won that war. Well, some of you may ask, well, what is the ideology of the American patriot? Ladies and gentlemen, it's freedom. Our ideology is freedom. We want to be free. We don't ask for much. We just want to be free to live our lives, to not have our labor stolen from us. Every time that we cough, there's a new tax. There's inflation, which is a hidden tax. There's regulations on everything. All we want is to be free and to be allowed to live free. And the ideology of freedom for the American patriot can never be defeated. I'm telling you that right now. It can never be defeated. It is ingrained in our DNA. And this is coming from someone who immigrated to the United States. I have no lineage here in the United States. My parents immigrated here, and they brought me here. So it's not like I have lineage going back hundreds of years. And that freedom, that ideology of freedom is ingrained in myself. And I immigrated here. Now think about it. Can anyone ever make you not want to be free? Some people don't want to be free, but most people do. And in the end, those people that want to be free, be it easy or be it hard, be it a lot of sacrifices, we will be free. Because nothing will ever get rid of that ideology that we have ingrained in us as Americans. So I think that if the military loses its mind and decides to try to confiscate on a mass basis, like going door to door, man, they're going to have a very tough time. I am truly hoping that most of our military members will remember that they took an oath to the people of these United States. When they took an oath to that Constitution, it wasn't to a piece of paper. It was to the people of these United States that they took an oath to. And I would only hope that most of them will remember having taken that oath and what it means. But if they don't, ladies and gentlemen, there's plenty of freedom-loving Americans that are civilians now that will never give up their freedoms. So here's our giveaway tool. So ladies and gentlemen, for everyone that is here, in case you weren't here earlier, today I am going to give away, actually I'm not giving it away. I didn't pay for this. This was paid for by a community member that sent me, some money so that I can do little giveaways. He wanted me to use it towards the Christmas giveaway that I'm going to do here on the 10th of December. But I told him that instead I'll use it for this, because the Christmas giveaway, that's all on me. That is all on me. So instead I decided to just do a little giveaway, during our live streams here or there. I may miss one here or there, but I will still catch it. And it's going to be a silver coin. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there is a Santa Claus on a silver coin. I'm going to go ahead and do a little spoiler alert, just one spoiler alert, okay, for the December Christmas Bash giveaway. This is one of the things that I'm giving away, and that is a 5-ounce silver bar, all right? So I'll be giving away a 5-ounce silver bar. This is one of the things, but that's all I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to spoil anything else. We have 399 entries. Let's go ahead and draw it. 401. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good luck to everyone. Good luck, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, whoever wins, the email below is where you're going to send me. Lonnie Schrader. Lonnie Schrader is the winner of the 1-ounce silver coin. Let me go ahead and write your name down, Lonnie, on my little spreadsheet here. That way I don't forget that you won. Congratulations, by the way, Lonnie.